The inspirational last words from a 27-year-old Grafton woman who passed away earlier this week have gone viral. Holly Butcher's family posted the letter on Facebook after she lost her battle with a rare form of cancer on Thursday. In it, Holly urges her readers to stop worrying about life's small, meaningless stresses. She says you might have got caught in bad traffic or had a bad sleep because your beautiful babies kept you awake or your hairdresser cut your hair too short. Let it all go. Instead, she advises we should be grateful, emphasising the importance of living big and generous lives.
I was impacted by a movie I saw when I was young. It was called The Dead Poets Society. Robin Williams, the late, great, talented, tortured genius. And this, if you haven't seen it, came out in '89. But the movie Dead Poets Society, it was about a teacher in a boys' prep school who was trying to instill in his pupils a love that's best expressed through a Henry David Thoreau quote about sucking the marrow out of life. And really the mantra of the movie was carpe diem. Seize the day. No thought for the future. Just think of the present. Suck the marrow out of life and do it quickly because soon, boys, you're all going to be worm food. All of you will be cold, dead, pulseless, buried somewhere, and worms will be moving their way through your body. So while you can, grab all the gusto that you possibly can as life goes by, because you only get one shot. And I remember just my pulse quickening hearing this, and through the movie, I just remember just this being gripped with this idea, like, yeah, that's great, that's what you want. We want to seize the day. And I think if we're able to narrow it down, that's kind of what really causes there to be such a visceral reaction to the concept of a bucket list. The bucket list, the idea of sitting down to write down your manifesto of what you want to accomplish before you die, of what you want your time on earth to have accomplished. To sit down and write these things down. I want to go and snorkel with sharks, and I want to walk through the Louvre, and before I die, I want to go to Ibiza or Coachella, Burning Man. I want to these are the things I want to do. I want to go to the Great Barrier Reef. And I think the reason we write these things down is as our way of saying, I'm going to skydive and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to live in Europe for a year with no plan, and I'm just going to spin around, and I'm just gonna just find myself and be free. I just can't go get a job and settle down. And the thing, I just get ball and chain of life. I feel myself suffocating. Tyler Durden reference, right? And so we start to feel like if I could just shed the khakis and the IKEA and be emancipated, these are the things I got. That's a bucket list. This is what I want. If I die with this not having been accomplished, I will die with my song unsung. And of course, there's nothing wrong with goals and writing down what you want to be accomplished and being organized and thinking through, what you want your life to amount to. But I think at the end of the day, this carpe diem, seize the gusto, it speaks to a franticness in our hearts not to miss out. Not to miss out on greatness, not to miss out on excitement, not to miss out on adventure, and to not let our lives be common. And not let our lives be average. We want to grab all that gusto. Hear me out. I think at the end of the day, it is Epicurean to the core. Epicurean, this love of pleasure that's basically simplified to this statement. This is the creed of the Epicurean. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. If we're going to be worm food soon, we have to get all the gusto now. We have to frantically drink with this. We have to sleep with this. We have to go there. It has to be amazing. It has to be cultured. It has to be beautiful. The lighting has to be just right. We're in this frenzy to take all of this in, all of this pleasure in, all of this consumption in, because mortality is coming. And that's, by the way, the other problem with this whole bucket list thing. None of these things can handle the hype that we put on them. I don't know if you've ever, this is going to be so great, and you save up for it and you do it, but then when you get there, there's all the pressure on it. I find Disneyland can be like that with my family, right? I'm standing there, I'm like, enjoy Dumbo, quit crying, this is the happiest place on earth, right? And I'm in my head doing the math. I'm like, every rotation is $14 on this dumb plastic elephant, right? And, anytime you put all that pressure, anything on this earth we put pressure on that's going to make us happy or make us complete, and by definition, that's a bucket list. If I die without these things under my life, is a failure. This is what I'm going to get done. He said that's like driving a 10-ton truck on a bridge that's only rated to handle 1 ton. What you're putting on it, that marriage, that person, that girlfriend, that status, that if I look this way, that dress size, whatever you would put on that GPA, getting onto that team, getting that Super Bowl ring, you cannot handle the weight of your soul driving out across it.
but we get so caught up in just busyness. Even when we think that we're disconnected, we're still distracted.
Yeah. No, and I think that, as we talk about this stuff a lot, right? We talk about distractions, and as we're talking about them and we see it's like common in our society, we say ourselves, man, we struggle with this stuff. I get distracted. Sometimes I find myself dealing with so many details of multiple different things that it could be overwhelming. And I got to catch myself sometimes. Sometimes you start getting stressed out. Sometimes you start carrying a burden that you shouldn't be trying to carry. And it's important to be able to tune out all the distractions.
I have my office at home. It's Saturday. I was going to stay home and study and get ready for the radio show and just kind of dig in, but I could be distracted in my office.
Yeah.
And so I just woke up, man. I just felt led to head to the desert. So basically I just went up there and it's kind of weird when you're just you get out of your car, you're by yourself, and then you're kind of you kind of feel weird because you're from the city to nothingness to I'm walking by myself.
Yeah, especially now, especially the way your life is with so many things that are going at fast speed all the time. I'm sure it was pretty crazy.
It was kind of weird though at first because I'm just I'm walking in the middle of the desert and I don't know what's gonna happen. After I did my taking my pictures as a tourist, and the new iPhone 10, getting some bomb shots, I just started walking and trying to find what part I could climb to get to the highest point in the mountain. And then I did, and I found this place where I could just sit, and I just sat there. And I was just looking, and then you go up to the rocks, and then the rocks, the mountain line hits the blue skies with the white clouds, and then the orange sun. And as you look at it, you're just I'm an artist. I know how to design, I know how to work colors together. And you look at the landscape, and you're like, dude, just the color combinations, the way it's all laid out and designed.
Right.
It's amazing to the eye.
Masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. And I'm going, dude, this is nothing. This is just one part of the world, but you are so big and you are in all these details. These verses just started coming to me about, how you'll know God's handiwork through his creation, and you'll discover who God is through his creation.
700 people turned out to farewell Grafton woman Holly Butcher at her funeral today. The 27-year-old recently lost her battle with cancer, but before she passed away, her touching final message was posted on Facebook. Holly's post urged readers to stop worrying about life's meaningless problems and focus on the people you love. It's now been shared more than 100.
Here's the entire message I just want to give you in one sentence, okay? Here you go. The more you look forward to the next world, the less you'll need from this one. Jot that down. The more you look forward to the next world, the less you'll need from this one.
All of these things, man, they're fading. They're fading. They're not lasting. It's temporary. So many people are all they care about is happiness. And happiness is predicated upon circumstances. If everything is going good, you're happy. When things change, you're bummed out. Like, if you have a lot of money in your bank account, you're happy. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can go da-da-da-da. But when you're broke as a joke, your happiness is gone because it's predicated upon circumstances. But joy, man, joy comes from God's Spirit.
Triumphantly, Paul says, therefore, look at verse 16. Therefore, we do not lose heart, even though our outward man is perishing. Yet this inward man is being renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal.